Hello and welcome to another mini course presented by the Center for Teaching Excellence. Today we're going to talk a little bit about managing the Grade Center. And to start off today, we're going to create a project. Now, I know we've done this before, but I want to take a look at how creating a project relates to what happens in the Grade Center. So as we've done before, I'm going to go to Assignments, then hover over Assessments, then select Assignment. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm just going to call this Project 1. And I'm going to skip the instructions for this demo, and I'm going to go down here to grading. I'm going to make it a possible of 100 points. And again, if I wanted to change any of my options, I could do that now. But for the sake of practice, I'm going to skip past these and select Submit. If we navigate down to the Grade Center and then Full Grade Center, we can see that Project 1 now exists inside of the Grade Center. We can select the down arrow here, sometimes called the chevron, to look at our options for this project. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but I do want to show you a few things. First off, quick column information. In quick column information, we can see the name of the project, our primary display is score, the category is an assignment, 100 points possible. It's not an external grade, there's no due date, it is included in our Grade Center calculations, and it has an ID here. Alright, next I want to look at my drop down one more time. And then this time I want to look at Edit Column Information. And so Edit Column Information lets us edit some of the information about the column as it says. And we can see here we can't change the name, but we can change the Grade Center name. So this wouldn't change the name of the project, but if you wanted it to look like something else inside of the Grade Center, you could change that option here. We can see that we have the option to change it to score, letter, text, percentage, etc. And we have a secondary display, which is if we want it to be a letter, percentage, or complete, incomplete. We can choose our options for score attempts. We can see last graded attempt, highest grade, lowest grade, first grade, average grade. The category right now is assignment. We have assignment, survey, test, discussion, blog, journal, self, and peer. For right now, we'll leave that alone. We can change the points possible. If you decided you wanted to add a rubric, you could do that right now. You could also change the due date and change our grading options that we see in the assignment. So it has quite a few options inside of here if you want to quickly navigate to that without going back and changing things in the assignment. Once you're happy with everything, select Submit. Now, another thing I want to notice, again using this drop-down arrow here, is that if we look through all of these options, we can see that there is no option for delete. If you want to delete this column, what you would have to do is go back to assignments and delete the project. We cannot delete this column in the Grade Center. We have to go back to the assignment inside of Blackboard to get rid of it and get rid of that column. Now let's look at adding grades for assignments that live outside of Blackboard. This could be a project, test, or quiz that you give out in your class. Once again, we're going to navigate down to the Full Grade Center. And this time we're going to select Create Column. With that column, we want to give it a name. I'm going to call this Project 2. Once again, I'm going to ignore all this information. If I was doing a real project, I'd put it back in. I'm going to make it out of 100 points. If I wanted to add a rubric, I could do that now. And again, we have all of our options here for the Grade Center. Once you're happy with everything, you can select Submit. If we select the drop-down arrow, we can see that once again we have Quick Column Information, Edit Column Information, and this time we have the option to delete the column. And the reason we have the option to delete the column is because this project does not live inside of Blackboard. There's not a Blackboard assignment attached to it. So now we can simply delete that column. We do not have to delete the project. Now be sure not to get these confused. When you create a project inside of Blackboard, you have to delete the project to delete the column. If your project is outside of Blackboard and you're grading the assignment inside of Blackboard, you can delete that column. With a little bit of practice, the Grade Center is really powerful and easy to use. But if you get a little stuck, we're always here to help. We are the Center for Teaching Excellence. Hope you enjoyed this mini course and see you next time.